Okay, we're going to do 2 chickens here. We're going to spatchcock one and we're going to joint one. So if we grab a chicken, we'll start with a jointing, I think. Fairly simple process. So we'll start by taking the legs off. So if we take our chicken, push the legs forward, you can feel just underneath the main chest carcass there where there's space. So we'll take a knife, we'll just run it underneath there, pulling the legs forward, just down to
Blimey,
down
that was
there
easy,
like that.
wasn't it?
Why do people like to remove the joints versus cooking it as a whole?
You could cook that on the barbecue for separate portions, so it's easy to, you have no carving to worry about once it's cooked. It's easier to put it in and casserole it and let it just cook away. So what we'll do, if you grab the legs and just sort of pull them apart, you'll find that there's a little ball joint that should just pop out. Tip the chicken to one side and we can just run the knife down there, through the joint.
So running it from underneath the base?
Yeah, so where you've basically cut down to the bottom and then just along. So you come through the actual...
Which side of the ball joint? Is the ball joint on the leg part? You leave it on the leg?
Yes, that's right, and the socket's
Right,
on the
okay.
actual carcass. That's it.
Jason, I've noticed inside there's some giblets remaining.
Yeah, there's a few little bits of kidney in there. Ideally, you don't want that in there. When we're portioning the chicken, it's not such a big issue. But if you're going to stuff it, when you're roasting a whole chicken, you don't want that in there because it will sort of taint the stuffing.
But for what we're doing now, it's absolutely fine to have
that's
a
not
couple of
problem
giblets
at all.
inside.
Yeah, that's not going to have an effect on it.
Should we remove the other leg?
Yep, so we do exactly the same on the other leg.
Now, has this chicken been washed before we do this?
No. You shouldn't wash chickens because all you're doing is spreading any bacteria around. Obviously, always use the same board. When you finish that board, make sure it's all washed down. Wash your hands. Same with your knives, make sure they're all washed down. So that's your 2 legs. So what we can do with your legs, we can then separate them so we get your thigh and your drumstick. So if you look on the leg, there's a little white line there, which should be roughly where the joint is. So you want to come straight across, and that should go straight through the joint.
So the line is actually a guide, it's not an enforcement?
Yes, it is more of a guide, but it's not necessarily enforcement. What we've tried to do there with the thigh, you get quite a nice square sort of looking thigh, a nice sort of drumstick.
Should I cut this extra bit of skin off of mine, trim it or not?
You can do, yeah, that's just a bit of fat, so we can remove the fat. So what I've also done there is I've removed the end of the leg. So we just chop that through. Again, that should go straight through a joint. That's it. Remove that bit there. We'll just literally just cut that through.
So where do you cut that through?
Just about where you are there.
So just where the rib cage stops?
Yeah, that's where you find the beginning of the breast meat actually starts.
Okay.
So again, that's for your stock. We can then remove the wings. There's just a joint in there, so we can just cut through.
So almost follow the line of the side of the chicken?
Yeah, that's it. And if you look at mine, you can see where we've...
Perfect,
Spot
see?
on, yeah, lovely. The same, but just down the other side. Chicken's very popular meat. Obviously very low in cholesterol as opposed to something like your beef, very popular in a health-conscious sort of era. So all we're going to do now is just cut this in half.
Well, let's see how you do that.
So just literally run your knife. You can see where the backbone comes up. So you just want to come down along the backbone.
And you've got to be very careful with your fingers here, haven't you?
Try and use the back of the knife, the back end of the knife. You'll find that'll go through the bone a bit easier. That's it. You can always use scissors. If you're uncomfortable using a knife, that can be done with a pair of scissors.
So now you've got the rib cage exposed and you've got these 2 beautiful meaty breasts.
That's it, yeah.
Do we cut the rib cage bit out?
So then that's what I would do with mine. Just remove that bit of rib cage.
So from one entire chicken we have 2 breasts, 2 drumsticks, 2 wings and 2 thighs.
Yep. So we're going to spatchcock a chicken. You ever heard of spatchcock before?
No, I haven't got a clue.
We take our chicken, we're going to remove the backbone, flatten the chicken, and it's ideal for...
Oh, we call that a butterfly chicken.
Yeah, different names for it.
Oh, right.
Most people would know it generally as spatchcock.
And what utensils do we need?
Just your boning knife or a pair of scissors. Once we've laid it flat, we use the sticks just to skewer it, and that helps keep it in place when it's cooking. Ideally, you'd use metal skewers. They help the heat get through into the chicken as well as you're cooking it. So what we do, literally just stand the chicken up, and then you're pretty much coming either side of the parson's nose. Run your knife down the back. That's it. And then we'll just come down the other side. Just remove the backbone. But that would be easier if you were using a pair of scissors if you haven't got a sharp knife. So that's your backbone taken out.
Okay.
How about that?
Yep, spot on, lovely.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, nice. Use your hands and just flatten it. Pull the wings out, just flatten him down. Turn it over, put it on. So if you turn it around so the legs are facing you, and what we can do is just take a stick, just in it, under the legs, through the breast. We sell quite a few spatchcocks through the summer months when people are barbecuing more. It's definitely more a barbecue.
Yeah, I've cooked
idea.
this on the barbecue.
So this type of cooking is all about speed
Yes.
and aesthetics. It looks slightly different.
That's right, it's something different on a plate. It looks nice to sort of present that out as a whole chicken.
Well, Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, that looks lovely. That's spot on. That's the ideal thing. It's just literally to get it flat. It's the same as when you do a butterflied leg of lamb.
I've had butterflied lamb.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, but I got the butcher to actually butterfly.
Yeah, most butchers will do it for you. If you ask them nicely, they're quite happily butterfly leg.
But I think I'd have a crack at it myself now. Now I know it.
Yeah, definitely worth doing. Ask the butcher to give you an idea, a rough guide of where he thinks you should go, and then you can take it away and have a go and do it yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
That's right,
sharing
no
two
problem.
ways of preparing chicken with us.
So fairly straightforward, and hopefully you'll be able to do that in the future.
Thank you.